All right, today's challenge is to find the best cards to buy and rent out. And we're going to do another usage of collection sets. And I've done a few videos, and not all of them have been, there are a bunch of tests, is what I guess I should say, some experiments. I think today's experiment is going to be quite good, and the sets will help us out quite a bit. But also a subject of interest to people. What cards may be good to buy? Now, what I'm going to do is look at all of the cards down here that I have delegated out. Usually that means that they're rented out. I haven't delegated a ton out right now for other purposes, but just in case, there we are for rent. That means I have 2,488 being rented out. And now we're going to check something. I'm going to click here under listed price to sort by all the cards that are the lowest CP per DEC. That means pretty good rental return. And I'm going to scroll way down, and I'm going to classify them. All the ones under, let's say, 100 are the really good rentals. Let's say that. Now, I've already done that, and I've called the set Rent Sub 100. Just very common name, very, you know, obvious name, I should say. All right, so now we're going to look at just those cards in the set. And I wanted to show something cool here. We can use this feature YROA, yearly return on asset. And we're going to sort by that. And down here are the ones that come up with like 4% return on asset. Just because they have a very low CP per DEC doesn't mean that they're necessarily good. It could also mean they're very expensive cards, like these legendary summoners. I think a lot of us understand that the Flesh Golem is obviously very expensive. Another summoner here that's expensive, a couple more. This promo card and some more summoners. Yeah. So these ones aren't necessarily great to buy and then rent out, even with these low numbers here. So what we want to do is click this again and look at the high numbers. But I want to show you a few things to keep an eye out for. You hit the compare prices, which I've already done. Um, and and then we're going to get some ones that are way off the wall, like they're just not based in reality right now. This account probably rented them a while back and just hasn't stopped, like they're renting it for 2.8 DEC a day when it looks like they could get one for 0.33. Now that just may be a card, this one right here, maybe a card that's just happens to be listed for a moment. It's going to get purchased, but even still, I don't see very many other similar ones to it. And that may be because I don't have other Wavesmiths at this level, or just I don't have very many of them. Maybe that's the case. What I want to see is the repetition of quite a few. So there's a bunch of gins, but the same thing, it's a -5. That means this number is 5 times lower than what I'm renting them for. So I don't know if this number is sustainable. So that's one way to look at it. Now then we've got a bunch of the Furious Chickens. It does look like the number is sustainable at 4.6. And even I could be listing them maybe for higher, but this is where you want to have a little bit of historical perspective that at times this number goes to 3 or 4, found on the market. So my 4.6 isn't too bad, right? So that would make you think that this number is pretty good. But there's a caveat. You need to actually go and check to see how much it is in the market, because we had to determine the number. And if you look at that little pop-up, it says that we use something called low BCX. So let's go over to the market. We typed in chicken here, and you can see that this low BCX is it's like 8 times lower than what you could actually buy the card in the market. So they're only highly combined ones, whereas most people just want these number ones, this $30 card. So therefore, we're looking at a number actually about 8 times lower than this. I know it can be a little confusing Um, but now you have your tip to what to look for. Now, is this the same case for the Chihuahua? Let's take a look. Chihuahua. There we go. Nope, that is not the case for the Chihuahua. It's the same price here and there. So that could get you motivated to grabbing just a crap ton of these. Boom. All 42 of these. And then, obviously they're still okay with them at level one, apparently. We'll give it a shot, but we're also looking at a price 5 times lower than that. But so it may not be great, um, but I'm willing to make that risk. So, all right, this is where we come to a number. We're looking at high here, low here, and positive here. So we've got high, mid, you know, positive here, and then let's go take a look at the scorch. Make sure that it's not, these numbers are actually pretty close to each other. So that's a good thing. So we could, I think this is it's a perfect combination. Also, good deals in the market sometimes are ones where you can find a few lower and then they all of a sudden jump. So how many of them can you get before it jumps up, 10%? So if it's at 650, um, by the time you get to here, the price has already jumped up 10%. So we don't want that 2 BCX. I don't think that they're really valuable at all. So we'll grab all these ones before it starts to jump up from 665 to 681. So there we go. Um, uh, Now, what you want to look at is historical perspective as well. Like, is this just a momentary thing? Keep an eye on it. That's why I'm using a set. So I can come back later and look at all the cards that are in that set and say, well, they're not even being rented at all. Well, let's list them at 100. Are they still not getting rented? Then you can kind of remove them from the set as a kind of freak of nature, not real sort of thing. So one other concern I have is these other fiends are being listed at 2 um, right now. So why is this one 9? Um, these ones. So I do have my concerns. Now it's obviously very nice that I have a bunch of these chickens already, but we already discussed why it may not be a great deal to go into the market and buy. So we're presently seeing a lot of fiends, but historically speaking, I think that they've been more around the 2 mark. So you're almost going to have to take this number right here. It's a 3.4 times less than this. It's not bad. It still puts it at what, like 30 to 40%, but it's nothing very, very large. This mushroom sear, it's only 1.8 lower, which isn't terrible. So that would put it at the 50-60 mark. But it's going to be the same sort of thing with the chicken. And all right, and that this number is 5 times lower. So in reality, this would be a bad one. So we'll keep going down the list to see if we found see if we can find a perfect one. This number is decently high. Oh, 100%, it's very high. This is mid-level, so this is mid. So it's a good level. This is still good. Anything in this sub 100 is good. And then this is positive. In fact, it's good positive. 1.2 is pretty darn good. Now, you can also know that playing with this card is pretty solid. So where are we? I only have 2 of them in there. Another way to do this is to sort them alphabetically and then just go down the list. So this mushroom sear is popping up quite a bit, but we already explained its problems. Um, in the market, buying a level 1 version isn't there. Now I only have 2 of these arbalists, but 169, 1.2, it's looking good. Let's check out Arba. It's really good. 294, 294. Um, you could also come in here and see its trend by clicking on here. 292. I mean, there's been instances where it's been lower, and some instances where it was higher earlier on in the month. You could put in a bid for it. You can check out the bids. Um, when the bid is very close to the buy, that means it's probably not going to change. This price isn't going to change for a while until this one gets eaten, this one gets eaten, and then maybe you can find something at 284. But in general, it sounds like they're doing all right. So, and the level 2 is what we're really looking for. So that's a good. Oh, it's being taken. It's already sold. Oh, all these ones are being already sold. We can hit the green to kind of refresh. Um, so we're going up from 328 all the way to 353. Let's try not to raise the price too much. So I'm actually not going to grab the 353. So not too many of them available, which actually makes it feel like a much better option. So we're going to grab that. And then we got to remember to also come back around and upgrade them to the level 2s or maybe the level 1s. And one of the things we should look into is to looking outside is make sure if I have these trying to be rented. Nope, those are the only 3 that I have rented at all. And the level 5 isn't doing quite as well as level 2s as far as this number is concerned. And even this number and this number. So I haven't tried to rent any 1s. Let's see what I have available. Arba. Gotta make sure I'm just looking at the Arba lists. There we go. So a whole slew of them. Now we could try to rent this card and see what we're going to get. Looks like a 200. Looks like it's not so good. Level 5 or level 2s look like perhaps where they're at. So a really good option is to click here and then click here. Very fast combinings and click here. So now we've got 3 of those. Let's try a level 3 as well. I do want to check to see what level 3 gets. An extra health, so we'll see here. So now when we refresh, all right, now we've got a few options. All 4 of the ones that we just created. So we're going to go ahead and choose rent on these. 118 on the level 3, which is not amazing. It keeps going down in ROA. Here, this is a very good one. So we're just going to load prices for all of them. And I think that if we get more, we're definitely going to stick with the level 2s for now, but we're testing out a level 3. All right, so we've got them now listed. I think I want to do a couple more. Let's do 3 more of them. 4 more of them. And then we give it a moment. And All right. Oops, I combined one. That's a cooldown. We do want to make sure that we are only selecting um, rentable cards. There we go. Got rid of. Oh, it's still rentable. That is. Is it still rentable? It says it's in cooldown. I guess someone could still rent it, but it wouldn't be playable for them in ranked. All right, so let's just list them. Let's actually list them a little bit further up in the rank here. So I hit the +1. So now they're going to be 1741 instead of 1737. I'm not going to try to beat the prices of my previous ones. All right, the other one that we had gotten a few of was the Chihuahua, right? So if we try to rent a level 1, look at that. Like it could do very well once this card gets rented out. Then we could try to beat this one. So I am going to exit out of this. We have a decent amount here. And let's see how the other ones are going. Looks like I've rented out quite a few. And we're going to refresh the page. Look at that. It's going off of 0.181. That's interesting. So I want to look at the ones that I have for rent. I've got some I got some pretty bad ones here. 286 compared to the others. So those are ones that maybe I would consider unrenting and then listing again. But I mean, even the percentages at 63 are pretty good. Obviously, these ones that are 223 are even better. Um, let's take a look here, and let's do just the rentable versions. There we go. Here's all the cards I can rent. Let's do that. And let's price them. Oh, look at lots of new ones came in. Let's price them right around 2. It's a 300. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It seems like quite high. 365% when there's all these ones coming in. Way, way lower. Um, uh, what should we do here? Let's do 1.8. Okay. You could do a section at that, and then a section a little bit better, and a section a little bit better. What I also want to try out is combining and seeing how well that would do. Okay, we got to refresh again, and there it is. So just to give you a perspective here, let's hit the rent. Let's see what this one is going to be listed at, 250. I don't want to beat these two. I'll beat the other ones. So at that, 73% still not bad, which makes me think a little bit more positively of Chwala in general. Look at all of these ones are already rented, and now my 1.8s are the only ones left, and there's quite a few of them. I maybe shouldn't have beat them all. Let's go with 2. How about that? Let's go with 2 on everything, and then go back to here and beat that. Oh, look at, wow, you could get level 2s for cheaper. So we probably should be beating these ones. If they can get a level 2 for cheaper than our level 1s, that's very interesting. Um, so maybe we should do 1.59 for all of these. Um, uh, which is still a pretty good number. So those 1.8s probably won't get printed, but we'll come back and check a little bit later. So let's go back to see if there's any other cards that maybe are worth looking into. And this one's probably worth making a bid on. So I want to go back here and take a look at the other listed cards here. 293. 293. Let's get 50 of these, and we're willing to get them at the level 2 because that's what we're going to combine them to anyways. All right. All right, that bid may get, well, we may get outbid on that. But all right, back to our list. We're going to look at the sub 100 set and look to see what we see a lot of. And the Armor Smith is in there. And 40% is not like amazing or anything, but still something to consider. 70% Creeping Ooze, but I think it also has the problem of the low BCX. Yep, look at that's about 5 times difference, 4 times difference. So that would bring this percentage way down to like 20%, which isn't terrible. Let's go back to sorting by this number. See what other things we see. If we hit compare rentals as well, is a good thing to do. Oh, look at the cheapest chickens, 23. That's insane. All right. Okay, so this one went back to 1.1 presently. Um, so a lot more cards got listed, or at least some got listed, which means you got to divide this number by 6. So you're looking at 120 or like 20, 30%, which still means I'm still happy I have some of them. And I think there is potential. There are waves of times when all of the liquidity of these cards gets all bought out, and you can still obviously rent out at a rate of like 7.6 at times. So that's at least good. See, all these fiends are around the 2 mark. I think this 1.1 is not going to stay. It's going to go more to a 2 mark, 2 to 3. All right, we're still looking through here. This is interesting. The Disintegrator, 169, but negative 1.4 isn't too great. So you want to take this down by like 50% ish. Not not half, I suppose. It'd probably be like 70%, which is still all right. Um, so I think Pellic Arbalest was the best one that we found. Now the Slip Spawn could be very interesting. 85 is still okay. Negative is not terrible in this case. And then also, I don't think it has the issue of, yeah, it doesn't have an issue here. So we can look here. I mean, but the price does go up quite quickly. And in those cases, you're on to something. So let's grab those two. And now, if you don't have a lot of cards, then there's one thing that you can do is to go to someone that has a lot of cards. So you can't compare on theirs, but you can still um, click here and see really high percentages. Furious Chickens. Oh, you want to make sure that you're looking at presently delegated cards. There we go. So Chickens, Truth Speakers. That's interesting. Goes from 500% down to one oddly priced Dragon Spirit, and then Truth Speakers being a big one. A whole ton of cards, all at this 88%, 27%, and then I don't know what they're presently going for here. But we could go into rentals and look at the Truth Speaker. And then click this and see it show 168 more cards. 15, and the fact that there aren't many cards actually bodes pretty well. So at the high levels, it's not great. At the 7s, still not great. 6s, not great. 5s, not so great. It gets better. It gets better at 5s, and then 4s. That's not great. There's only 2 of them. 3s, not great. 2s. I mean, I've got 2 for rent that aren't even being rented out at 30%. Well, let's go all the way down. There's a lot. So at level 1, we've got still at 90%. So, I mean, that is interesting. That is actually quite interesting. Now, what's the deal with what they have? They have Protect, and that's why. That's why everyone wants them. Okay, so then we go, let's open up a new tab and look for them. It looks like a decent, if BCX matches, and it does. So 196 seems like a good deal, and there's only a few before the price jumps up. Ooh, I want to say that's a good 10% right there. So, and level 2s were still of interest. I'm not sure. Let's I guess they could be. Let's grab one anyways. All right, so we found a good deal using someone else's. All right, Alric suffers from the low BCX being very different as well. I don't know why Stone Golem would be so high. That confuses me. Mushroom is one of those that has the same thing with the low BCX being quite different. Now, Isa. What's the deal with Isa? Why is that one? Let's go take a look at these. 30%. So it's not quite that good. There just happened to be, well, 50%. They happen to be 2x above. Well, not quite 2x, but quite a bit higher. And these are based off of percentages, so it's just they haven't been doing, 48%. If that's good for you, still a possibility, I guess. Frost Lion Golds. That's interesting. So you could just take a look at someone's. You want to find ones that maybe they've done a lot of. The price here is not too separate from each other. You can actually click on the rent, and you can see the percentages here. They're looking pretty decent. 50. Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty good, actually. I don't know why is because the 2 mana card. Frost, I thought I had a bunch of Frost Lions, but I don't know. That seems pretty good. I'm going to go back over to card listing. Um, so it's not too big of a difference. 519 starts here. One would guess that this level 4 is not too bad of a deal. And this one here, 520. And then we get the big jump from 520 to 580. So we'll just grab those. And then let's finish it off by listing them. How about that? Well, These are gold ones, and I don't do that actually. I don't. I put my golds in a different account. So one other thing I wanted to check was if it's the same thing on these cards. Now the price difference between these is a bit more severe, and the percentages aren't nearly as good. Not nearly. And then you're down to the minimum 0.1 over here. So I'm not so thrilled about that. I'm not completely sold that getting those golds was actually the best opportunity. Not sure. We can switch account and go. Um, well, let's do one thing here. Let's take a look at um, back to my cards. Let's just take a look at golds. Those will be the golds that I just got. We're going to transfer them over to the gold account. All right. And then we're going to use the nice switch account feature. Now we're over here and we're going to look at the Frost Lion. Yes, not Frost Giant, Frost Lion. And I've got it's set to compare rentals 20 something percent, which is all right, but we're at the 500 mark. These were supposed to be pretty. Was it the Frost Lion that I just got? Yep, there we go. They just showed up. So let's take a look here. And we're going to rent them out. Let's hit the load button. So 240 is great. Now let's click on these ones. We don't want to try to beat these prices. This is what we came here for, to beat those prices. 50%, the 235. These two ones will go away. That's the hope. And then mine will start getting rented. Okay. I hope that helped. I actually want to go back for a second. Click here. I want to show you, let's do this other set, the 100 to 250, and we can check to see what the percentages are here. So we got a decent on Oceanus, Time Age, Urius, that sort of stuff. Oh, they're not being rented right now here. Let's take a look at delegated. No. So actually, we should remove all of these from this collection. There we go. Remove from. Just added them in a little bit incorrectly. Now, anytime we come back and we look at this set and they're not being rented out, then you can, I guess, determine what ended up happening. They were good for a moment. Now they're not as much. Is that what happens? And these percentages are pretty good. We've got another Arbalist. We've got the Jin Bilgka. We got to compare the rentals and see if we got any greens. The Venari Scout is in here. The Bilgka. Those Shanuses are still great opportunities, it looks like. I mean, and these Hunter Jarks, the negative 1.6 isn't so great. Bards. We could always just go here to rental mismatch and hit the 1. Oops, sorry. This box is going to change. We'll go here to owner preferable. Okay, so these are now 161 of these that are in a good direction. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Light elemental of 70% isn't so great. Actually, I'm going to remove this. I think what I'm taking from it is the Oceanus, and maybe nope, not the Jarks. Is it just the Oceanus? Maybe the Bilchka. I'm gonna unclick this, unclick that, do Bill. So I'm trying to rent these for way too much, is what it's showing me. I've got some rented 70%. That's actually quite good. So if the CP per DEC isn't like amazing, that's actually really good. When this is high and this is high, that's actually a decent sign of a good deal, in my opinion. I think so. All right. So let's take all of these ones that are listed a little bit off. And let's relist them all. So I'm just going to select. I'm going to actually hit Control R, Control U to update the prices. So let's load the prices. 80%, 60%. That looks pretty darn good. So if we look here, oh, we could just try to beat that price. That makes that go up to 80%. Let's try to beat. Oh, that was level twos. Yeah, we could try to beat this price. Let's just do it barely, 89% now. And now we're relisting them all. Very good. So one other thing you could do with the sets, because I was doing it by CP per DEC, is just look at the percentages. So let's take everything that is being delegated, and then let's look at the high percentages, not the low percentages. So, and then compare rentals, and let's just take not any of these point. Let's do everything that's like 50%, like legitimately 50%. So we know it's not the Furious Chicken. It's probably not the Gin because it's a 5X. It's maybe this one. No, because it's -6. All right, so let's do negative. This could be. These ones could be. Yeah, let's grab this. 1.4. It still puts it in the range of above 60 or above 50%. Doing a systematic approach is quite good. So we got 90, and then you've got, yeah, -1.2 still puts it above 50%. Oh, not the negative point, -5. Sorry, not 0.5, -5. Let's see, 88 times a -2 or whatever, 2x. That puts it more in the high 30s, so or low 40s. So we'll skip that one. Now this one is fine. So we're going to grab these ones. And then, oh, positive is good. Same thing here. And, oh, another positive. And then -4x. Nope, nope, nope. Negative on this one isn't too bad, actually. That's interesting. It still keeps it above 50. I do want to grab that one. Oh, maybe not, actually. I don't know. Maybe not on that one. But usually it is. Let's just take it for now. Creeping Moose has the BCS issue. And then here we go. 70. and then negative 1.6x. Ooh, that puts it close into the range. I'm not so sure about that. So we're going to skip those ones. All these Bilchkas are good. So we're going to add those. Negative 4x, nope. This is close. This is close. Let's add the Gen Renovas for now. And then, the rum, nope. That negative 4x isn't good. Exploding rats. Let's take them. Negative. What would that end up being? That seems like it'd be still pretty close. But we'll skip them for now. Arbalist, Mushroom Seer wouldn't be great. What about these Deceivers? At level 6, it seems like it still could be in the realm of possibilities. 66, 1.1. Yeah, let's take them. Yep, let's take these. Harclaws, yep, let's take all of these. Nope, negative 3x. These Jin Chwalas are close. May still be worth looking into, keeping an eye on them. These ones I think work. The reward cards are just being sold for so cheap that they're probably worth it if you upgrade them. Yeah, look at this. This would be worth it. So I know that there's some YouTubers out there saying that these buying the cheap cards, reward cards, the chaos reward cards, good deals, and I'm inclined to believe it. Now look at this one. That one's in the mix. Negative 2x, nope. Ooh, this one is close. I think these mercenaries are close, so we're going to grab them. I don't think about these 1.5x's. Nope. What do they have at level 30 that they're so good? Level 4. Just one extra speed. So I'm skeptical of those. Let's just put it that way. How about these warlocks? Oh, maybe. Armorsmith? Yep. Soul Strangler. Gens. Yep. Nope. And yeah, we're going to grab these level 3 Uraeuses. What do they get at level 3? Extra health. All right, so let's create a new set. Call it rent 8% plus. There we go. So we've identified some of the ones to maybe keep an eye on. And so I'm actually recognizing that it's a lot of these only Chaos Legion stuff. So we're gonna keep an eye on them. Maybe keep buying them. Using bids would be really good, but they're so close together. But if you take a look here, they don't go down quickly at any point. So you can take it for what it's worth. There's a pretty decent gap between these ones. And that's not very big, but this one is a good 4-cent gap. So we can take a look here and do 596, huh? How about we just try to, this one's going to be gone soon, and then we'll just do the 58. So let's do a 0.581, 10 of them. And then how many do you need? Let's do this. Is the Chihuahua in here? Nope, dang it. Sorry, we're going to have to go back here. So there's 4. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Make a bid. 0.581, 12, and 4. And there we go. Hope that was helpful. And I'll keep doing more videos to help give insights of how to use sets.